Jason, I can't stop looking at your right arm right now. It looks like the mass. It looks like the mass of it is bigger than your head. It is.
It might
so
actually be.
girthy. It's crazy. Do you only lift bis and tris? I've never seen the bottom half there, so I don't really know what you're working with.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the number one podcast in real estate, The Walkthrough, where each and every single week we walk you through this week's trending topics in real estate. My name is Dan O'Neill. I'm the captain of BAM, and I'm coming to you live from New York. And today I'm joined for the first time ever. I don't have a black eye on my face. I don't have a mark. I have no eczema. I don't have anything. And I'm joined by somebody that looks like he just went 9 rounds with Mike Tyson. And if you've been following this show, you know the bit. Eric, the broke agent Simon, looks like he got mauled by a bear. Eric, aside from the fact that you look like you got your ass kicked, how are you today?
I feel fantastic. I feel for you, Dan. You know, I've been giving you crap for the last 6 months because every time you show up to the show, you do look like you got scratched by a lion or a tiger. And somehow your dog is crawling all over your face and just clawing at your eyes every single night. And you wake up and you have scars and you have no idea how they happened. Now it happened to me. So this is karma coming back around here in 2024. It looks like I got bludgeoned in the face. What do you think happened, Dan? What do you think happened to me? I'll give you 3 options.
All right,
Jason, you ready for these? Number 1, I got punched in the face by my bookie. Number 2, Brad Inman sent one of his cronies down the street of Brentwood to knock me out before the Inman Connect conference because BAM is gaining too much exposure. Number 3, my dog's ball rolled under the table. I went to get it and I slammed my head on the table. Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to go with 4, and I'm going to say that your dog, Miles Lugnuts, is sick of you dunking on him every single day, so he came around and just gave me one of these, and that's how you got it. So I'm going to go with
Exactly. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm glad to be here, and it's just unfortunate that this bruise is taking so long to heal. So let's introduce our other guest now. Forget about the black guy.
With that said, we're also joined by returning guest and fan favorite, Miss Lindsey Joe. Lindsey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. We are also joined by the bicep himself. I was just with this guy for 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row, nonstop, holding his pocket, learning from him. He is a genius. We did trainings for my team, his team. I get to watch him in real time, and do the trainings with his own office and organization. Mr. Jason Posnick, sales director of the Chinati Group in Boston, Massachusetts. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm so glad. A, to be here. B, that you're not here anymore. Even though you beat my ass in ping pong. It's all right.
Well, I'm also glad to not be there any longer. It was like Eric and Lindsey, their office is like Monsters, Inc. There's just like different departments. Like everyone's got headphones on. They're just walking around calling and ping pong. There's confetti cannons going off. It's quite the organization, but it is it's a lot. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I'm super excited for today's episode. We're going to be changing up the walkthrough a little bit, and maybe we'll talk about this more next week. But today's topics, we're going to be talking about how to reach out to some of your clients for quarter 1 from Toole. We're going to be talking about marketing of the week, and we're also going to be talking about Realtor Prom and a little bit more than that. But we are going to try to keep these episodes to 30 minutes or below.
We're going to talk about an Instagram story hack that generates an enormous amount of leads from Lindsey Joe as well. So this is going to be a fantastic episode. Dan, let's get into reaching out to clients in the new year. How do we do it?
Mm-hmm. Listen, there's many, many ways. And before we do that, though, make sure that if you're watching this, you like, you comment, you subscribe. Please give Eric some some shit for his eye over here. I've been getting chirped in the comments here for I don't know, 2 years now. For one time, please, can we say something? Look at my hand, by the way. I made sure not to do it on my face. Anyway,
there we go.
Number 1. Most people come into the new year without having any real set plan of how to reach out to their clients. We always say, let's circle back in the new year, and there's really no plan. And then the new year comes, and we're all kind of just sitting there like, well, what should we do? Toole laid out this very, very good article on 4 strategies to reach out to your clients and what actually to do after the holidays. So I'm not going to bore everyone reading the entire article. Sorry, Toole. But rather, I'm going to share one tactic that I'm doing that I'm taking from the ecosystem, and I'm going to pass it to Paz, Lindsey, and maybe Eric as well. So one thing, and Paz, I did this with Noah and your office on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I was so happy to see this.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And it was not my idea. So I took this from the ecosystem from Tom Ferry, from, I believe her name is Nancy. Basically, what she's doing is, it's genius. She's doing the home equity report. and she's sending it out to, in 100 days, 268 people. In that 100 days, 268 people received only a folder or letterhead, right, with her name, company, right, all of her information. And she just did an RPR report, which is simply something from your MLS. It's basically CMA. Probably took her 3 seconds. In 100 days, she sent 268 of these to different, whether past clients, sphere of influence, just geodata, sales, whatever it may be. And she made $780,000 in GCI.
God.
Even crazier than that is she averaged out how much money she made an hour by doing it, $2,600 an hour. What's even crazier than that is, do you know how much time she actually spent on doing it? 0 hours. She had her assistant do all of it because she did not want to over-engineer this project. So all they would do is 3 sheets, a cover letter, and an RPR report. She did not touch it, and she made $760,000, whether pending, active, and or closed already in 100 days. And what I loved the most was that I shared this with Positics team, and shout out to Noah and a few of the other gentlemen and ladies in the room. They did it immediately. So that is one way, in my opinion. Everybody wants to know how much money they're sitting on, equity-wise, so on and so forth, to reach out to them, and then you follow up with a call and email and a text. Pause. What are some of the tactics that you guys are doing right now to circle back and reach out to your clients from last year?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things you just said, Dan, is you send that, which is freaking amazing, but then you got to follow up with other touches, right? You can't just have a farm and send mailers and hope that people call you. You can't just send this and say, oh, great, I sent them, they're going to call me. It's not just what you call or if you call, but it's what you say when you call. It's how you say it when you call. And so what I notice is too many salespeople sell. Too many salespeople focus on when do you want to buy a home? When do you want to sell a home? Rather, what we've started doing and what's worked really well, Dan, is we talk about the goal. Hey, Dan, last we spoke in December, I know it was your goal to, in 2024, get out of Boston and into Southern New Hampshire. What's changed? What's changed with that? How's that going? When did you want to get that started? And so what we do here with a script that we use is we identify the goal. We first get them to agree that, yes, that is still the goal. Because here's the deal, guys. The only reason anybody buys or sells a home is to improve the quality of their life. Our responsibility is to find out how it will improve the quality of their life and then to help them achieve their goal in what feels like their way. And so confirm first that the goal is still the goal. Then we confirm, based on that goal, when do you want to be done? When do you want to be in that new home or out of your current home, whatever it may be? Based on when they want to be done, work backwards. When would you like to start the process? Do you want to be in Southern New Hampshire by the start of spring? What do you consider a start of spring? April 1st? Okay. So you want to be in your new home in New Hampshire by April 1st, Dan. When do you want to start that process? And the best thing is if they say to you, I don't know, what do you think? Or how long does it take? They give you the opening to teach. But if they don't, they might say, if we want to be there April 1st, maybe we'll start March 1st. Awesome. So you want to start March 1st, Dan. And starting March 1st, clients start a bunch of different ways. If you're buying a home, would you prefer to meet with a lender and figure out savings, financial plans, stuff like that? Meet with myself to talk about market, process, options, how we're going to go through helping you achieve this goal? Or, Dan, do you want to just get out there and start seeing some stuff? Right? If they're selling, do you want to talk about the staging consult, the value of your home, or where you're going to be going next? But by breaking it down and working backwards to how they want to start, guys, you're getting them excited for the next step, which that's the most important thing. If they're excited for the step to achieve the goal, you just got yourself an appointment. So that's what I got.
So you're not just saying, hey, remember when you told me to call you on January 3rd because you'd be ready to buy a home? Well, here I am. You're not saying that script? That's probably the worst script known to mankind.
That would be the apps. The only thing worse would be, hey, Eric, it's Jason just checking in.
Right. Yeah. So what do you say when they pick up? So what do you say when they pick up the phone initially? So you call this person, it's January, 12th, January 11th, and you are checking back because you haven't reached out to them in the last couple of weeks. Like, what's the first thing you say?
Yeah. Hey, Eric. Hey, Happy New Year, man. It's obviously Jason at Chinati. I know last we spoke here in December. This is the year. We're going to get you to Southern New Hampshire. How's that going?
Yeah.
Right.
Got it. Do you still say Happy New Year? How long do you say Happy New Year to? Like it's January 11th right now. At what point is the statute? I don't know. This is probably the last week you could say it.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You guys are freaking hardcore. I'd go like through January. Wow. All right. Well.
Yeah. So what do you think, Lindsey? How long can you say Happy New Year for?
I don't know. Maybe the whole month of January is fine.
Just keep saying it the entire year.
Yeah.
Just throughout all of 2024. Just keep going. It is a great opener though. Like
Yeah.
It's easy.
saying Happy New Year, it is just like an exciting thing to say. Lindsey, how are you reaching out to
Yeah.
prospects
Yeah.
in 2024 to start the year?
Well, I thought this was a great article. Tom Toole is absolutely right. You have to use your CRM and you have to have these people specifically tagged. I also really love his OFQ script, opener fact question. We should never be following up with people and just say, hey, I'm just following up, because it's so weak and it's almost always dismissed. One thing I do religiously is I send out emails to everyone in my database every Friday with fun things to do in my area. So I use an app called Nudge. And Nudge, you can filter by area, and Nudge has influencers that go and video a new restaurant or a new coffee shop, and they have hundreds of videos. And so I literally just go into the Nudge app and then copy 4 of the activities, put them in my email with links. I use the same template every single week. When they open the email, they see this week in the city. So one of my emails recently had rainbow lattes in Northeast, or pet a sloth in Vienna, or grab a chai on the heated patio in Southeast. And so I include pictures and links. And I know everyone hears email and they think it's outdated and they think it doesn't work, but it's all about what you're sending in that email. So that's something that works really well for me in terms of staying top of mind with everyone every week. And it's a great follow-up touch point too. You can easily send a text and be like, hey, Eric, I just sent out an email with some fun stuff in DC. Did you get it? Check out.
Yeah, you want to go grab a rainbow latte with pause.
Yeah.
I love that idea. Are you when you say Nudge has influencers?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, do you actually hire the influencers to look through the restaurants, or they just already have videos with these restaurants on the app?
So there's already videos on the app from influencers. So DC influencers will go around and they will video different coffee shops or different like karaoke bars or pop-up bars for the holidays, fun stuff. So you can actually see them like going through the restaurant. You can see how cool it looks. You can see if it looks like something fun that your clients would want to do. So I just copy and paste the details, put it in, do a little picture, and they love it. I get great response from it. They love opening that email every single week, and I send it to everybody, past clients, a lead that hasn't responded to me in 4 years. Everybody gets that email. And so it's worked really well for me. So the app is called Nudge.
And I was going to make a joke that Cassidy's probably the one that's doing all the reviews down in DC, rainbow cookies. But with that, do you specify? I mean, everybody. And I know Posnick will be the first one to open up that email, but if you send me a rainbow kai email, I don't even know what that is, truthfully.
Yeah.
I might disregard it. But you just send it to everybody and you find that it works just because it's the consistency and because it's the value added, right?
Yeah. And it's not just one email with one rainbow latte. I try to put in different things that will, so one, I try to have it appeal to kids because there's families. Yeah. And then others, I try to have it appeal to like younger buyers in Arlington that want to try a pop-up bar for the holidays. So I always have different options in there that will try to appeal to every type of buyer. So if your thing is not rainbow lattes, you might want to go pet a sloth at the zoo in Vienna, you know?
Or maybe it's gyms for pause. I mean, Jason, I can't stop looking at your right arm right now. It looks like the mass. It looks like the mass of it is bigger than your head. It is.
It might actually
so
be.
girthy. It's crazy. Do you only lift buys and tries? I've never seen the bottom half there, so I don't really know what you're working with. But my God,
Dan's
the upper
got
half
pictures.
is enormous.
He'll send them.
Yeah, you look like you're in the Fantastic Four, like the Rock character.
Oh my God.
Anyway, those are great tips.
You.
Great scripts from Paz. Great home equity report from Dan. Great email strategy from Lindsey. I love all these. I haven't done anything to reach out to people in the new year. I'm not working with. Go ahead, Dan. You have a question?
No, I was gonna piggyback off what you're saying, not to interrupt you, but you are adding value. I mean, I every time I get a BAM email, right, like it's a way of following up. It's a reminder of BAM. It's a reminder of your guys' Super Bowl events. It's a reminder of everything, or Pro Bowl, I should say. I'm sorry. So you are doing it, whether maybe you realize it or not. Like every time I just add it to my team's chat, and you guys are very consistent with adding value and sending that email every day, every week. Yeah. So don't discredit yourself. You're doing.
Oh no, I just meant I'm not. I'm not following up with prospects because I'm not working with any prospects. But starting off the new year, we launched a bunch of new projects that we'll get into here. But first, I want to step into the secret Instagram story hack to drive referrals by Lindsey Joe, because I've seen these templates and I didn't know it was started by Delaney. But Lindsey, why don't you go into the secret Instagram
Yeah.
hack that's driving referrals?
Yeah. So Delaney created a genius story template last week, and at one point over 400 agents were using it on their Instagram stories. So she created a get to know your favorite realtor story template, and she included questions like name, age, service locations, and brokerage. But what made her template extra genius was the tag challenge that she threw in at the end. So she said, tag 3 realtors in another state, and within 24 hours, I swear every freaking realtor was using her template. I was seeing it everywhere. But it was so smart because it positions her at the forefront of the minds of so many agents. And so any realtor with clients who are looking to move to Southern Maryland now has Delaney top of mind, which creates a super valuable network of referrals. So I loved that. And so when I was writing my BAM article, I had the idea to create a local template too. So for example, you could do a this or that local story template and feature like staple restaurants in your area. So for example, I could do something like, what's your favorite breakfast spot? Do you like Ruthie's all day or Bob and Edith's diner? And then share it as a template on my story. And what's awesome about these templates is that one of my followers can use the template and share it on their story. And then a totally random person who's following them can use that template too. And you can see everyone who has used your story template, even if you're not following them. So my point is people who are sharing a local story template are probably locals themselves. So once they use your template, take the opportunity to react to their story, follow them, and initiate a conversation.
This is an entire new way to, it's genius. This is like an entire new way to get your name out and produce content. How do you even create these templates? Is it within Instagram or is there a specific app?
It's within Instagram. And in my article, I use something called Scribe, which records your phone. And there's step-by-step instructions for everyone to go through and create their own story template. But essentially, it's like the little smiley face on your story that you click. You know how when you get into a GIF or a GIF or a link, there's an add yours template in that section.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, this is something I haven't touched. And go ahead, Dan. You look like you're about to explode. The coolest part about this is, or the funniest part about this template too, is like favorite car snack, something I can't live without during a showing, so people could kind of put in their personality. I saw Brooks Landry share this, Dan, and then he tagged me and you. So this is hitting people, and I guarantee you Brooks doesn't know Delaney. Maybe he does, but that's awesome that it's like hitting people within our ecosystem too. Jason, have you shared any Instagram story templates, or are you all scripts?
I have not done a template before. I do a bunch of Instagram stories, motivational stuff. But what's so cool about this, and like massive props to you, Linz, for telling us all how to do it, and for Delaney, is how many realtors put out that BS content that's like, it's a great time to buy and sell a house, right? Like this is so cool that it just lets people know who you are. And to your point, Lindsey, of local stuff, people want to work with people who are local, who have similar likes. If I start posting that I love Edith's Diner, well, goddamn, everyone at Edith's Diner who likes it is now going to pick me as their realtor. Like, this is freaking genius. I'm stealing this.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't even know you could do this. I did also see this, and I did get tagged in it a ton. And my mind's like,
you're so popular, Dan.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I'm just saying that I saw it a ton, and I didn't know Delaney started it. But I got to give Lindsey, I got to give you a ton of credit. Like, I am very, very impressed. You, between Nudge, Scribe, like you had the a couple weeks ago, the Chewy for realtors, right, with the gifts. Where do you keep all of these, like the names of all these different products, right? If you're an average agent right now, where do you keep these all? Like, do you have like a notes lip?
She has a brain, Dan. Unlike you, she stores stuff in her brain.
If you had to store all these different names, right? You would, in my brain or in your brain, you would lose it. You have CTE, right? You have a concussion right now. You probably couldn't even store my birthday or Groundhog's Day that's in a month. Lindsey,
when's Groundhog's Day?
February 2nd, 14 days before my 30th birthday. Keep the change. Remove your bicep from the view. I can't see anything here. Lindsey,
are you drinking a protein shake right now, Buzz? You're just slamming that thing nonstop. Why do lifters have to constantly be inhaling water? Nothing pissed me off more than when I was walking around college campuses and you'd see these non-athletes with huge water jugs. You know what I'm talking about? Like the actual plastic water jugs. They had to keep showing people how they were constantly hydrated. It's like, dude, you're not even an athlete. Just like, yeah, exactly. It's like all of real right now, 75 hard. Sorry, Lindsey, go ahead. Where do you store all these names besides your brain?
my brain. I don't know, Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, I use them all the time. I use them every day. They're awesome tools. I will say, to learn about these things, though, I consume a lot of podcasts outside of the real estate space. So I consume a lot of online marketing podcasts. I just love it.
Like what?
So online marketing made easy, marketing school, there's a bunch.
That's a value. That's a ton of value right there.
I'm
I
hopping
truly,
on one.
yeah, I feel like I'm so like out of touch because I'm so busy just putting out fires right now that I'm not on social media. I'm not learning. Eric chirps me every time I say that. I'm not consuming
I'm not on
content.
social media, but I posted 50 Instagram stories in the last 12 hours and posted 6 times to my feed and have done nothing but go Instagram live and hang out with Paz and post ping pong pics. But I
Hang out
haven't
with
been on social media in 6 weeks.
Hang out with Paz. This guy had me doing bows and toes. I was in over there. I don't know. But I feel like I'm out of the loop, right? Like that's why I'm so impressed right now, Lindsey. Like these are all like genius ideas that are all so actionable that if someone's watching this right now, they can go and implement like immediately. Like if this is 20 realities around the horn, you are ding 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 ding. You won the episode because it's all stuff that we can just take immediately and add value to our consumers.
Let me just say one more thing about this template. It's like a getting to know you pin post. So it has name, age, service location, years in business, your brokerage, previous job, favorite car snack, something that you can't live without, and then the tag 3 realtors. So it's literally like what you would have at the top left corner of your Instagram feed. So
Eric, would you
really,
make if I posted this?
I don't know, because honestly, Brooks tagged me in it, and I thought about doing one as a parody, which is still using the template because you could still like craft jokes around it, like your favorite car snack. Pause could say, creatine or something, or steroids or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
He's got TRT sitting at his cup holder. I watched him in the office. He's going outside. Like this guy loves protein, huh?
If you guys are listening to the audio version, you got to come over to YouTube and see this guy. I mean, it is very impressive. All right, so speaking of genius marketing, we have a couple marketers of the week. We have 2, and these are really, really good. Haley, if we could look at the first one, this is one of the best AI trends that I've ever seen. This is an agent named moving to Kansas City. What's his name? Kyle Talbot. Let me see here. Anyway, he's got an incredible AI thing where he basically did AI stereotypes of Kansas City neighborhoods. So play it, Haley.
Everybody's so good looking. That I just felt that was like that was the best looking people I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't even look at the town or the homes at all. I was just looking at the jawlines of the men and women. That was. Can you do that again? Like I didn't even see the house.
Yeah, play it again.
Or any area. I saw Where's Waldo, and the guy looked like he was looked like Paz with it. Look at that! Look at the jawline. Look at the haircut.
Yeah, it's AI generated. All right, so the audio is off now. But basically, this guy, Kyle Talbot, used either Bing image or ChatGPT and said, show me the stereotypes of what's happening in these Kansas City neighborhoods. I just thought it was a really good idea, and I thought a bunch of other agents could use this too for their neighborhood. Like, Dan, Long Island stereotypes. You would probably just pop up for every single one. It would just be AI would generate your face for every single stereotype. Likes the Islanders, thick accent, exaggerates, charismatic, sells real estate, bottle service. It would just be you every single time. It'd be hilarious. Do you know how they did this, Lindsey? I don't know which app they used for this.
Oh, they used their brain, right, Eric? They used their brain.
Yeah, they used their brain to do AI. But
I don't know what app. Yeah, I don't know.
We're going to get the prompt from this guy so everybody else could use it. But I tried it right before this and tried Tucson, Arizona, because that's where I'm from, Tucson stereotypes, and just said, create what a person would look like from the Catalina foothills and put a coffee in her hand. And then it created these images. And by the way, these are super fun to play with. If you haven't used ChatGPT image or Bing image generator, you could basically, say anything and it's going to like craft this funny image. So I was playing around with this during the holidays saying, do a real estate agent that's being bothered by his family, but he's trying to write an offer, but the kids are screaming in his face. And it created these hilarious images of a bunch of kids screaming. And this guy like looks all disheveled and he's drinking. So you could put like all these different specific things in it. So definitely play around with image generators. Do you use any AI, Pause?
I just use ChatGPT. I want to type in though a description of Dan and see what it pops out. I'd be so curious.
Yeah. You were just with me for 3 days. Why do you need ChatGPT? Beat you in ping pong.
I want to see what AI.
Jumped in snow in a full suit and then continued to work the entire day, following Lisa Chinati and yourself. Kicked your ass in putt too.
Oh, Danny.
Putt and ping pong, huh? Yeah, being with Dan for 3 days in a row, I've experienced that before, Jason. It is quite the experience. I've said before, it is like being in, what's the movie?
Yeah,
Uncut Gems. It's like being in the movie Uncut Gems for 3 straight days, just being followed by chaos. Yeah.
No, I'm no longer a hurricane. I think Paz could actually back this up. I am now just a light rainstorm. I've since.
Dan was late to the office every day.
Right.
Fair. Okay? Fair. There wasn't a set time. Touche. You know what? Did I make the 5 a.m. call?
You did.
You made the 5 a.m. call.
You did very well.
So let's get into the second piece here. This is one of the best videos, probably the best video of the year so far by Shane Bergman.
This was amazing.
With his rendition
of the year. Wow.
Yes, of all 11 days.
Oh.
All right.
They're all crushing it. And I just watched a John Wick movie. They got killed like 400 people in like 10 minutes. It's actually insane.
Yeah, great movie. Lindsey, what did you think of that video?
I mean, it was a little ridiculous, but it kept my
ridiculous in what sense?
I gotta defend Shane here. We're talking about
let her say it. Let her say it. Let her say what her opinion is.
But I will say it kept my attention. I mean, the fast-paced movement is always great for engagement. Like, look at Kyle Toomey. He built an entire brand off of running through homes and movement. So I liked it, kept my attention. I thought the giraffe was a little weird at the end. But Shane has really been stepping up his content game lately. I thought the collab that he just did with Paige was so genius. So I would rate this video like an 8.2 out of 10.
Oh, okay. There we go. Solid.
Jason, what if there was no giraffe? What would you rate if there was no giraffe?
I mean, I don't know. 8.4.
I like the giraffe part because the whole point of John Wick is that he's fighting different enemies. So he had to throw someone to the ground, and it wasn't a human. May as well be a stuffed giraffe.
Deep insight. I think it was fantastic. I think it, like Lynn said, it kept my attention. I like that he had some real estate stuff tied in there. Had the listing sheets, had the square footage, all that. Grabbed a sword. That was good. I loved it.
It was quick. It's witty, right? He looks good. Yeah. He looks very professional in doing it. He looks very good, right? Like it's. I like. Yeah. I'm going to give that a 9-1. I'm going to give it a 9-1.
A 9-1.
Shadow banned, honestly.
You think he shadow banned or you're shadow banned?
Probably both, but I think more so Shane because he's coming up with way better content than I am. But he doesn't get the shares, the views, the likes.
He's getting them now. It's starting to pick up. This one got like.
How much did that video get? Yeah. Damn.
I don't know, but it's probably this one will probably hit 70,000, 80,000 views. If I had to guess. I shared it in my broadcast channel. We just did a post on it on the viral agent. So let's get into some inside BAM stuff real quick because we got some awesome events coming up. First off, we just launched a new account. It's called the Viral Agent. It's real estate marketing. So all the tips and everything that we do from the walkthrough from BAM, it's like an accumulation of all of those. So it's all of your real estate marketing, Instagram tips in one Instagram. I started it with Actually Agents. So we're giving our tips 3 times a week on that Instagram feed. And then we're sending out a real estate marketing newsletter every Friday. We might switch up the day, but we sent it last Friday, 78% open rate, 15% click through. And these are beasts of emails with so much text. It's not like our BAM emails where we're just linking to blog posts and walkthrough and all of our podcasts and stuff. It's giving you basically like what happened in marketing this week and what we recommend. So everybody that's watching this, follow the Viral Agent. We got a couple events, but Lindsey, I want to get to your event because you just started something called the Real Estate Prom. Dan, you're probably taking Jason to this. So why don't you tell us what this is, Lindsey?
I'm excited. I have 205 agents signed up to come. We sold out in 3 days. It's basically just going to be prom, but for realtors. So I feel like 2023 was a hard year for a lot of agents. The morale is down a little bit. So I'm like, why not throw a banger event where everybody comes dressed in prom attire? And so everyone's going to come in prom dresses, and the most extra dressed will be crowned prom king and prom queen. We have a DJ, is going to be super hype, MC it all, open bar, free alcohol, no food. So it'll be a hot mess. Hot mess.
Yeah, get people as sloshed as humanly possible. No food,
Yeah,
free
no
booze.
food.
You know what's funny is I did an event like this, not at all like the prom, but when I first started the
Yeah.
broke agent in 2016, I did something called the real estate release party. And the whole point of that was
Okay.
to just like party with a bunch of realtors. There was no event attached to it, no mastermind or anything. So I love the idea that it's like, this is just like a dance, right? A
It's
party.
fun. Yeah, no
Okay.
value given at all. Because like everybody throws
No value whatsoever.
no value. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to do something different. I'm always about being different than everybody else. And I feel like everywhere you turn, there's another mastermind or another like, come here, learn this. This is like, you're going to come, you're going to have a fun time. There's no agenda. You're going to drink. It's going to be great.
Where and when
That's
is this?
It's in DC, and it's on January 25th from 6 to 10. Dan is flying in with Stephen Ferry. I have people all on the East Coast flying in.
Now
Is
you're
Steven
bringing
your
Steve-
date, Dan?
Hmm?
Is Steven your date, Dan?
No, Max is. They're going as Dumb and Dumber. I hope I didn't just out their plans.
Oh,
but,
that's hilarious.
They're dates. But I need to know. Now I need to make sure I eat before I go there. My motto to me, that is going to be a no food, no value, which I love. But maybe we get a little catering because people are going to be. Whew, I'm going to go home looking
Lindsay's
like Eric.
shaking her head.
Wasn't in the budget, Dan.
Yeah.
Just two black eyes.
What
So
was-
Lindsay,
what was
what's the
budget
goal of
sold out?
this? Like the
What?
cool thing with this probably, Lindsay, is now you have 200 more agents that are in your referral network. This
Yep.
obviously helps, promote your brand. Like, are you going to
Yep.
do anything at the beginning of this? Are you announcing anything, or do people just walk in, DJs playing, just straight fun?
Walk in straight prom, like just
Nice.
eventually what prom would be like.
Yeah, my prom date took too many somas junior year, which was a muscle relaxant that a bunch of people got from Mexico and was basically passed out by the second hour. So that was not a fun experience for me. Jason, have you heard of those somas?
I've never heard of them, but I'm glad
Yeah.
that I'm glad you taught me.
There you go. Yeah, you would never take anything that relaxes your muscles. So these are not up your alley. So Dan will be at the Realtor Prom. We will link
You're
that in
going
the
to
description. Are you all sold out, Lindsay?
We're sold out, but I have a wait list of like 80 people. So we
Nice.
might release a few extra tickets.
There you go,
Awesome.
Eric.
All
Eric,
right.
you could easily fly out for that. I mean, and my birthday's right afterwards.
I can. I might be flying out the 22nd to New York because now we're going to be filming something with Ryan Serhant because he's speaking at our Pro Bowl, which I'll get into right now. So we are launching the Real Estate Pro Bowl. We talked about last week for the first time, but it is going to be the #1 virtual event in real estate history. We expect thousands and thousands of live viewers. We have Ryan Serhant keynoting it, Byron, of course, Danielle Garofalo, Gary Gold, who sold the Playboy Mansion, Neil Dingra, Jimmy Mackin, Jason Pantana's talking AI. It's the best lineup in real estate history. It's a completely free event, and it's the week before the Super Bowl. So it's February 7th, completely free. We'll link it down in the description. We're going to have funny commercials. We're going to have a national anthem. We're going to have surprises, guest appearances. It's going to be like a 3.5 hour, just fun digital event. Just, try to mix it up for the start of the year. So really excited about that. That's February 7th. There's a link down in the description for that. Dan, are you going to attend the Pro Bowl?
I'll be at the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I'll be at Realtor Prom. I need to rewatch this episode 30 times and get all these different names, all the different chat GPTs, all the different AI. I actually feel like there's a lot of value in this. I mean, in this 30-minute quick episode, even without the topics, I'm to end this, right? Put a bow on this episode really quick because there's probably other people that are maybe have the same feeling as I, and I can't stop looking at Posnick's biceps, but there's so many different, there's so much resource, so many tools, so many events, so many webinars, so much going on. I almost get I'm overwhelmed, truthfully. And I get a little bit analysis paralysis. Can we go around here and give maybe the two biggest tools that you're using right now, whether it be for marketing or for your business, that I can, for me now, to write down and implement in my business? Eric, I'll start with you because I'm looking at you. What are you using right now? Two resources, ChatGPT, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I'm going on social media marketing. Here, what's the website? Socialmediamarketingtoday.com. Let me find it. But this is where I get a lot of the information about what's going on with the algorithm and what is taking place on Instagram. It's socialmediatoday.com. That's a really good resource. So they're talking about like 2024 trends, what's happening on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. So that's a really good resource. Honestly, our BAM contributors, our creators like Lindsey have been the best resources for us. Like, getting this information from Lindsey about how to use these Instagram story templates. Like, that's something I just learned in the last 30 minutes. Like, I didn't know how to use one of these. I'm going to be creating these because I could create really funny ones. Like, I could have realtors, thousands of realtors sharing these templates and doing kind of parodies of these templates. So that's such a good idea. Go on nowbam.com. Every single day we have 4 or 5 articles using all these resources. But the number one resource, Dan, of course, is BAMX, which is, you should use code WALKTHRU, WALKTHRU, for 10% off your yearly annual membership. It is by far the best resource in real estate history. Jason, what about you? What are you using?
We all use BAMX here at the company, all 160 agents. But
You do.
recently, I've been turned on to everyone, every agent. They think you guys are like celebrities. It's amazing. I mean, you're very important, minus Dan, but they get so much content from you guys. And the coolest thing about BAM, I think, that I've seen from a leadership and agent perspective is that it's applicable. Like, you're not just sharing the newest, coolest thing, or you're not actually what it is that you're not teaching from philosophy. Like Lindsey, you're not saying, here's a tech trick that might work because of blank. No, like, you're freaking doing it. You're seeing that it works, and you're saying this is what works. So first of all, badass to teach from experience, from the trenches, not from philosophy. There's too much of that in this world. What I've been doing is shout out Tom Ferry, the Founders, the podcast. You guys do that? You guys ever heard of that? They have over 350 episodes. This guy reads a book about, founders, mostly entrepreneurs. And he breaks the book down in like a 45-minute to hour podcast. And he breaks it down in a way that you can understand it, you can apply it, but learning something new every day to that regard, and then working with the agents in the company to make sure we track and measure activities, a little accountability. It's been the most important thing coming out of a down year.
Yeah. Lindsey, what about you?
Dan, I'd probably say Scribe is a good fit for you. So write that down, Scribe. So it literally records your screen and it puts together a PDF instruction booklet on whatever you did on your screen. So if you wanted to teach your assistant how to run comps for something, or that perfect example where you said that girl made $780,000 for the year and she had her assistant do all that stuff. Well, you still have to take time to teach your assistant how to do whatever you want them to do. Scribe, you can, it will record your screen and put together instructions for you that you can send out. It'll cut down your time so much on giving instructions to your team.
I love it. All right, get into BAMX. We'll see you at the Pro Bowl. We'll see you at Realtor Prom. We'll see you in Posnick's office. Hopefully this guy puts on a pair of chubbies like he owes us. Get into BAMX. Next week, we might be switching up the walkthrough for more marketing tips. Lindsey Joe, bing, 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 bing. You crushed it.
Winner, Lindsey Joe. Great episode. Pause. Thank you for joining us.